What's up, guys? Diplex here again. Welcome back to our fictional Japanese invasion of California in 1944. I am super excited to be back here with episode 4. Tomorrow it's time for episode 5, the grand finale. It's gonna be pretty insane. I hope everyone has been enjoying the series so far. Now, I want to apologize to all 50,000 people who were patiently waiting for episode 4 to arrive yesterday. I'm sorry about that. I simply had to take a break. These battles take such a long time making. Now, if it wasn't for Mighty Mapper and his supplying of these maps, so to speak, it would take me even longer to prepare these episodes. It would take me weeks to even prepare them, since mapping these... Oh, fuck, shit! I messed up. I forgot to... God damn it. There's always something. There's a little blooper there, but we'll leave it in because it doesn't change much. But that door was meant to open instead, and they would run through the door. You know, cool. I want to show that doors matter. We can tell here that we are in Paradise Hills, which is meant to kind of be Hollywood. And most of the civilians have evacuated. They were much more fortunate than the poor people on the shores of Los Angeles. But what has remained here is the local police department and some National Guard troopers that have arrived. The governor of California lives here, and he has also decided to remain with his fellow patriots. Oh, look at this. And we have a policeman back here who's doing great service, but unfortunately he met his fate. His fate, not faith. I don't think he met his faith. I don't think the Japanese are his faith. But anyway, yes, we have another position up here on the high ground, holding out. Look at that, the BAR. Now, a lot of you guys are very helpful in the comment section down below, telling me what kind of weapons the police would use in National Guard at the time and whatnot. And it turns out the BAR was also used as kind of like a way heavier weapon for the police. So here we go, the LAPD with a BAR. And we also have a Springfield and a Tommy gun, also known as the Thompson, of course, M1928 with the drum mag. So this is actually taking place or occurring at the same time as episode 2. So in episode 3 is actually a day from this. And I hope everyone enjoyed the gruesome battle that was episode 3, the Battle of Los Angeles with that recently graduated Marine battalion storming the beaches. I just think that's so fucking awesome. But this is happening just an hour after the invasion, so this is happening at the exact same time as Japanese troops were also moving into the downtown areas of Los Angeles. But in this case, we're following a Japanese Takasago unit and their conquest of the hills. Now, it's not a great military object or anything at all for that matter, but it does have great psychological importance to the American people. Of course, this is an iconic place for the whole country. It's Hollywood, you know? So capturing this will be great for Japanese propaganda and morale and whatnot. So not all objects of importance are military or strategic in that way. So yes, psychological warfare, which is a huge key with this attack, which in many ways Pearl Harbor was as well. And also the submarine that attacked the oil field in California, or a oil field in California. I can't remember if it was like Emerson Bay or something. It was something along those lines. It shelled a few oil drums because the submarine commander had previously been working at the oil plant earlier on, and he was like made fun of when he fell in water or some mud or something, and some people there who worked there kind of laughed at him. So his first target, after he had somehow gotten to command a submarine many years later, was to shell it. And that was a great psychological impact. Like, that was the first, like, the people on the West Coast really thought and felt the pressure of the Japanese attacks, and they were like, obviously it increased the kind of scare factor and whatnot. So Japanese forces are making their way up the hill. We have a police station back here. Hand grenades are being thrown as well to try and root out the defenders, but they're holding their ground quite well. I think the Japanese are gonna be facing quite stiff resistance here. We have the governor's residence back up here. Look at this. It's like a palace almost. Very nice. So some early National Guard troopers, or not early, but like the first National Guard troopers that were rallied and assembled have arrived here as well. At the very same time as some platoons arrived downtown to assist in the defense of the little fob they set up there with a Vickers machine gun and everything. So that was pretty cool. So this is happening at the exact same time. Jeez, look at that. A car caught on fire back there. I'm not entirely sure how. Must be some Japanese fire. Perhaps a hand grenade's gonna be thrown. Oh, shit. Nice landing there. Oh, a chain reaction as cars detonate on the street. And a few of the policemen who've previously been doing quite a good job at holding the Japanese back are gonna fall. So this is a great display of what the U.S. Marines wanted to avoid by invading or attacking via the water in an amphibious assault. And you're avoiding all the close quarter combat and this attritional warfare, which is obviously costing the Japanese many lives now, as you can tell. The defenders is always going to have a upper hand in a scenario like this. And it really shows how they have it. The Japanese are actually struggling to get through here. They're taking so many casualties. Despite the somewhat outnumbered and outgunned American defenders. So, obviously, the amphibious assault, despite being costly, it was definitely the right choice at the time there, considering the situation. More riflemen are moving down the street. I think they killed a man back here now. I heard a scream, yes. But the Thompson submachine gun is still active, and that thing spits fire, man. 50 rounds. We saw what Theodore Reed did with it. He's still fighting downtown, by the way, together with the other civilians who have remained, and of course the National Guard forces. By now this is happening at the exact same time. So in episode 5, when we're coming to the grand finale, you can expect some more serious army forces as well as more beefed up National Guard troopers. Don't also forget the fact that most civilians will probably have been evacuated at the time. Oh, they're trying to flank around here, which is a great move, but he's actually shooting them back. He's holding his ground here back to back. What a hero. Sometimes he's going to reload, though, but he's got... Oh. Now, if I were you, I'd push him now. Oh, there we go. They finally got him. But what a great stand. What a great stand indeed. Hand grenades are going to chase these guys out of their position. This guy's going to stand up and shoot from his shoulder. What a great hero. Look at that shit. That is amazing. That guy with a Colt 45, too, just doing work. The 1911 is a dangerous weapon up close. I fired one in real life. A really good kick, actually. Quite a nice weapon. Oh, and we had a few other people hiding here on the side to kind of provide some flanking fire, but they were caught off guard and killed almost instantly. So the Takasago volunteers will now be making their way down towards the governor's residence. And this is what I really like about this kind of combat. It really sets it apart from the kind of frontline fighting. You have the more infantry-focused, open, kind of long-range / close-range combat, and there's not as many explosions and guns firing at the same time, so it gets more of a cool shootout feel to it, like a Western shootout. Look at all the bullets hitting the palace back here. It's more of a palace than just a residence, I suppose. And all the cars and the hoods taking fire and the windows cracking. It's really cool to see the bullets impacting everywhere. Holy shit, that guy was hitting the head and the helmet just went flying. Oh, this is so cool. Shifting fire! This is wonderful. Further down the street, we have more policemen and, yeah, well, basically just a lot of police and National Guard troopers that have set up defenses down here. They're just trying to hold the entire area and hold them back in gradual defenses to try and wear down the Japanese attackers. If they focused everything at one point, they would risk getting surrounded, and that would be a very, very bad day indeed. Defenders are putting up some great resistance here, though. Look, they're chasing them back. probably try again soon. They just need to patch up some wounds, get the bandages going, reload their weapons. It's a lot of open ground here. They have killed a few of the American defenders, that's for sure. But that BAR is still spinning, and that's going to be a dangerous thing to deal with. So cool to see it fire like that. Very controlled, very accurate, small bursts. And it's putting the Japanese on a bit of a run here. They might want to try and flank around. We'll see what they resort to. So this is the first platoon we saw land back down there. Do I still have any more troopers in the vehicles? No, I do believe we emptied them out quite nicely. We'll have to take a look at casualties later to see where the Japanese have really been losing the most men. But do realize that this is a pretty big part of Los Angeles, of course, so there's more troopers moving in elsewhere. We're just following this very platoon right now. We might see reinforcements from other directions move in as well. I think they're going to go for a push here, bring the riflemen up, get some accurate fire back on that BAR. Focus their marksmanship here and pin the Americans behind the cars. If they can do it successfully, I think they'll be able to get an upper hand here. Oh, man down. Holy shit, look at that guy running for it. Oh, he's gunned down. I'm not sure what he was trying to do. Perhaps distraction. Oh, a car's caught on fire. That's not a good idea. Get out of there. Get out of there. It's burning. If that thing explodes, it might start off a chain reaction. Oh, they're so lucky. It kind of like the flames extinguished themselves somehow. Perhaps they didn't have enough things to catch fire on there. But that's great, because if that would have continued burning, it could have resulted in an explosion, and that would have probably set off a whole chain reaction here, killing all the defenders, which would have been just gruesome at all. But the heavier weaponry the Japanese possess will definitely... I mean, it's not that much heavier. I mean, like, of course, you got the BAR on their side, but in general, there's just a lot more pistols on the defender side, of course, seeing as they're police. The Japanese aren't really using any pistols at all in this scenario. It looks pretty empty here, like they've lost a lot of people. But I do believe more reinforcements are coming in soon. How's it looking down here? More police are coming in as reinforcements? Were they running from something? Holy shit. Japanese troops have flanked around, and they've brought a tank as well. Oh, jeez. I can hear more National Guard reinforcements coming in down here as well. So that's always welcome. We're going to go ahead and get these guys out of the vehicle. Move, move, move. I think the police we saw come running came from here, and they were actually trying to get away from the very threat that just arrived. And they probably screamed at the defenders, "Abandon your positions, they've got armor!" And, you know, they kept running, but the men here held their ground by order, and well, the Japanese have arrived from the flank now as well. Of course, some National Guard troopers did come as reinforcements in the nick of time here. We're going to make sure that everyone gets out. Let me just grab these guys. Empty out these vehicles. I do think I saw a few AT soldiers as well, some bazookas. I wonder where they went. Where did they all run off to? They're probably hiding somewhere. We got a few guys behind here. If they can get a good shot at the tank, they'll be able to knock it out. The rest are hiding up here. How's the siege for the governor's residence here going? Well, it looks like they've killed most of the Japanese attackers. That's good on them. That's a very good job indeed. We got more Japanese forces here, crowding this estate here, flanking around. Look, they're coming in from everywhere, not only the street. They're using the tank as cover. They're letting it progress first. Taking a lot of casualties on the street here, though. Oh, bazooka fired. Oh! Tank down. That caught me completely off guard. One of the AT-equipped National Guardsmen there got it. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, so that's going to add another level to the fight. Man down. More Japanese forces are coming in. The US are still trying to hold the crossroads here, but it's just turned into a massacre now. It's just it's completely ruined. All the cars are just shot to pieces. There's burning. The fight is still very hot. Nice shooting. The Japanese are advancing down the street. This is really cool. Love the uniforms of the National Guard here. They look awesome. I think I prefer it over even the standard army uniforms. Perhaps they were very similar in World War II, but I wanted to give them more of a lighter look, so to speak. Not as heavily equipped. There's a lot of Japanese attackers still remaining, though. They're over here, and there's probably more reinforcements on the way. If many other forces have managed to kind of flank around successfully, then that's probably the case. Damn. Thompson rips. We saw a Type 100, perhaps 144 SMG over here, which is like kind of a developed version of the regular Type 100. But the siege for the hill up here is lightened up quite heavily. I think they've killed most of the attackers from this direction. And honestly, I'm shocked. I've never seen anything quite like it. The Japanese have gone down in some pretty severe numbers over here. Just gunned down. No question about it. And the governorate residence is still holding. We're going to go ahead and evacuate here. There's no point in holding out for any further attacks. So we're going to go ahead and get in the vehicles and get out, I suppose. Actually, some of these policemen here, let's turn this into a more interesting fight. We'll take these guys, a more live fight, so to speak. We'll take the police over here and let them go down. We'll take these guys as well. We'll have them head down there. And then we'll take some of these guys. Let's get back in the trucks. Let's get the hell out of here. More Japanese forces have arrived to the checkpoint. Now, they've probably surrounded the entire area, fought most of the resistance here in the hills as well, and they've come to the conclusion that the last strong point is here in the intersection near the governor's residence. The governor's residence has also been evacuated now, so the governor's retreating. He wanted to remain, but I think he feels that he can continue the fight alive instead of dying here. He just wanted to remain with the defenders that had actually come to his help to protect him and then to evacuate him. He felt that it was immoral to leave them behind and for himself to escape. But now that the danger is clear, they're going to go ahead and escape. Some of the policemen, though, willing to assist the barricade down here, arrived. I'm not sure if they're going to try and, like, fall back, maybe. Some of them are pulling out a little bit. I think the heat is just extreme down here. The Japanese forces are still spreading out over the area. I think this will forever be known as the massacre at Paradise Hills. Hand grenades are being thrown. But the men who are still defending here are just heroes. Let's take a look at this policeman over here. How many kills has this guy got? 10 kills. So he shot down 10 people. Other people like he's got 1 kill, so not an abundance, not Theodore Reed kind of craziness here, but still definitely putting up a fight. That's for sure. Who's alive here? Is this the last man standing? Possibly. Quite possibly. We'll have to find out. The Japanese are aware of this location. Quick salvo needs going to be gunned down. I think the rest right now are securing the area. I do believe that is it. But what a crazy freaking fight. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, there's still a man alive here. He's got the Thompson submachine gun as well, so he can definitely put up a fight. If I were him, though, I'd get the hell out, but we'll see what he does. I think he wants to remain here. If he stands up and runs, he'll be gunned down. But wait, there's another person shooting up there, so he might have enough of a distraction to do it, but I think he's going to remain here. He's going to do his best. It's 1 Japanese soldier down. We'll see how many he can gun down. Unless they get the better of him. Perhaps a hand grenade or a good flanking maneuver. Oh, he's reloading. That's unfortunate, but he's going to go down now. The intersection has been cleared, and let's have a good look at casualties. There's actually a few policemen still standing up here, so we're going to watch their final stand. All the backup is left. They've been left behind somehow, but that's just one of the gruesome parts of war. Let's take a look at casualties. We'll display everyone in red for now, and you can just tell what a crazy fight this has been. It's not that kind of frontline combat we're used to. This reminds us of some more modern urban combat, you know, the street to street. It's very gruesome, but it's got a different tempo, that is for sure. But the US are still causing damage here to the attacking Japanese. Look at this. Damn. Oh, that hand grenade. I love the pursuit. I love the pursuit like this. They're just chasing them back, and the final defenders of the area here will die by the sign. It's quite iconic. I gotta say that's quite suiting. Oh man, but they're still ripping. Holy hell! Good throw. Oh man, these police officers know what's up. Holy shit. Some of them are going to take refuge here by the mansion. I like watching a last stand like this, like the constant retreating and firing. Oh, man down. There goes perhaps the deputy or the sheriff here. The commissioner, who knows? I'm not sure how police departments work in counties and states and cities and whatnot, and you know, metropolitan districts and everything, but and all the ranks. What a crazy fight. Let's go ahead and display the Japanese in red and the American casualties in yellow. And you can just tell, look at the skid marks here. The car's just like skirting away. And down here we can tell there's just so many Japanese casualties trying to root out a few of these defenders, which is why it really shows that urban combat like this is a war of attrition. It's just going to take a lot of manpower to get the job done. Up here as well, crazy casualties. Even here, fighting the governor's defense here. They did a great job, but this is ultimately a Japanese victory. And down here in the intersection, this was more of a massacre of the poor people here. The tank went in, and it was actually destroyed by an AT weapon, which was good, but ultimately the Japanese were just too many in this situation. I don't think any of the Americans here expected really to come out victorious against such a heavily armed force, but of course you got to do your best. You got to stand and fight. There's a lot of anger involved here, and you're just not going to turn tails and run at the first sight of the enemy. But thank you guys for watching this episode 4. Tune in tomorrow for episode 5. It's going to be a big showdown, and I'll see you guys then. Ciao.